hello everybody. Welcome to Drawing and Talking. We'll be starting shortly. Just give me 1 second. Let me just set this up. All right. All right, so hello everybody, welcome to Drawing and Talking with Artclstudios. I am Hansiel, and today we'll be having a interview with one of my dear friend artists that I met recently. His name is Kahiem. He'll be talking today about the mind and creativity. I'll be bringing him up right about now. So welcome to Drawing and Talking. This is episode 37. And let this intro begin. All right, so here we have Kahiem. So this is pretty much a welcoming back to the show, coming back. Hey, how you doing, man?
What's up?
How you been?
It's shaking, man.
All
Gang,
right.
gang. Oh shit, he got my site up. You ain't frozen.
Let me see how I'm gonna show this thing. Hold on. Cause I'm trying to play with this, but this is, sorry. I think that works. Okay. And I can take away, okay, there we go. Yeah, I was trying to do it before I called you, but this thing is a little funky. And thank you to those
What's that
joining
noise,
in.
bro?
Say it again.
What's that noise, bro?
You hearing like a feedback?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got the speaker on, so maybe. Hold on. Sorry, it's a little.
Not you good.
Is that better? Yeah.
Should I be drawing while I'm talking?
I mean, we could talk. So thank you so much for joining me, man. I really appreciate you coming through. It's a little weird, I know. But if you want to tell us a little about yourself, and let me flip the camera so you don't feel like you're talking to the screen. Thank you for joining us. How you been, man?
Shit, man, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm bad. I'm ugly. I'm on a roller coaster, man. I'm riding the dragon right now.
I feel you.
Waving the motherfucker. You feel me? Damn, the reverb is crazy.
The what?
The reverb.
Man, let me turn this off because I wanted to record it for YouTube, but I guess I'll just increase the volume on this thing and bring the microphone closer. Is that better?
Yeah, hold on, let me see. Yeah, I don't hear myself.
Okay, good. All right, long intro, but let's get to know you a little bit. Who are you? What do you do? Why are you on Drawing and Talking? What's Up Wednesday? And we get into it.
I'm an artist. You know, I do art things, I paint things. I'm known. Can I show y'all?
Of course, man. Whatever you want to do. This is your space.
I'm an artist. I'm known for portraits, so I kind of go around and just sketch people's faces and do a bunch of different stuff. So this is literally the story of my life. Just kind of running around.
Nice.
Down. These are a collection of portraits of people that I know their faces. I collect a lot of things. I collect all the markers that I use.
Wow.
I collect all the scratch it. I filter it. I got this weird OCD. collect all the portraits, all the oldies, you know, some new ones, some old ones. I'm a face stealer, bro. I'm like
Nice.
a million faces. I just go around and snatch them shits, and then I wear them like personalities.
Wow. What's the why do you use so much colors? Because I see in your website, let me flip it around a little bit so people can see. So in your website, all this color, the future is color. Can you tell us a little bit about why you decided to, do your portraits? People do portraits, realism, and stuff like that. You do and people like to do real colors. You like to do colorful things. Why is that? And thank you again for everyone that's joining in. Again, it's been a while, so I hope you guys don't mind my rustiness. But again, we're here with Kahiem, and we're speaking about the mind and creativity. And I just asked him about why so many colors.
Cause what colors are around me? Look at that. Mine. I'm a time traveler, bro. And no matter what dimension I've ever been in, no matter what time or space I've ever been in, color has always been there. You know what I mean? I don't know if that explains anything, but like, color is my rubric to understanding life. You know what I mean? Like, nature works in colors. You know what I mean? When we put an outfit together, we thinking about colors. You know what I mean? I'm Haitian. You know what I mean? That Dominican, you get that mixture of that red and that blue. You know what I mean? That warm and that cool. Everything.
We got our flag in the back too. How do I show it? Let me see. Yeah, I got mine's in the back too. Wait, there you go.
I got 2 flags.
Nice. You're homemade, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I think I've been doing color works. Like, the color was the first thing that, like, like, I'm a traditional artist too. Like, I do pencil drawings. I was into architecture. I was into all these different stuff. I used to do the black and whites. I used to do the pastels. I used to do the normal color work. So just like color matching and toning and stuff like that. But something happened, like, when I kind of just went abstract. It's like Picasso. You know what I mean? Picasso, like, all these masters. Sometimes they'll master a style, they master perfectionism, they master all of this stuff, and it kind of like is boring. You know what I mean? Until they find their own niche or their own style. Colors to me was just like, I don't think. It's like almost like my mind is just programmed to understand colors more than, like, it's easier for me to see things colored, and it's like there's so many double entendres, like a synchronicity, not a synchronicity, but what is it called? Like synesthesia of sorts.
Can you explain that? Like, what do you mean by?
Like, all right, so like,
I'm gonna be scrolling through your Instagram too, just in case. If you have anything that you want to refer to in your Instagram, let me know and I'll bring it up. But you can go ahead.
It's kind of graphic, but like, that's expressing rage. You know what I mean? Like that hot and that cold. You know what I mean? Colors is a good way for me to represent like balance. I'm sorry. My room is messy as fuck. Like, when you're a painter, you get paint on the edges of your doors and shit like that.
And that's the raw artist right there.
Like, I got some,
nice.
Like, that red represents power to me. That blue represents like water, that wave. That green represents that natural like kinship. Colors like, I don't know, man. I chase the rainbow.
I just saw something that I saw the pattern. Yeah, and you share something with me in the past, and I just saw something that you have a theme that it's about 90s, and you shared something with me previously that was very interesting, and here we can see like say it again.
I'm a time traveler, man. I'm traveling light, man. If you think about light, what is light but color, bro? I'm traveling light, bro, and I'm time traveling. Light is the fastest thing in the universe, and it doesn't go in one direction; it goes in all directions. Meaning you can go forward and backward in time when you learn to travel light. You dig? So it's just like, you dig? Like,
nice.
If I painted it, that means I was there. Or the moment I painted it, I was there. You feel me? Like, it's almost like taking a picture. You know what I mean? You capture that moment in time. I feel like whenever I paint something, I capture that moment in time. So like, when I'm painting that flag, I'm there with my Haitian, ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got a ATLian dog, old world. What's that?
Mm. So tell me a little bit about the mind, because and also if you want to talk a little bit about the poetry that you wrote, that was super inspiring, man. I saw that this morning and I knew, I was like, it's Wednesday, I don't have nobody, and the first video I saw, it was you. I was like, I need to get somebody tonight, and it just was so many things that I was like, we spoken before, we had some really interesting conversation, and you popped up today, and I was like, no, everybody needs to, everybody as whoever watches these things or whoever's in my Instagram, and thank you for those who are live. I mean, logged in. Need to hear about you, and that poetry you shared was super super deep, and I just kept thinking about how the mind works. You know, you're not only you draw, you write, you're a thinker. You have all these qualities of like a master genius. You know, how do you manage to do these things, and what's your creative process when you come into? Let's talk about the writing right now.
Rose. Like I think, um, so like lotus flowers or roses. Like I think like nature is the best way to describe. Like you smoke herb, and you feel like high. You feel lifted. You feel like you're thinking different. Like you want a different stream left. Like
Mm-hmm.
like that's why I say light or like stars or energy. Anything that's kind of like circular, circular. Anything that goes in every direction in all directions. So it's like I think that's what the color represents to me. I can't stay on the cool side for too long. I gotta like one step on the cool, I gotta one step on the warm, then I gotta find a medium. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like I like to go in circles on my work. So it's like I do these portraits, I do these paintings, I do these writings. Like every day, I'm taking a step in one direction, and then I'm taking a step back. Like it may seem like I don't get anywhere, but if life is a big ass circle, I'm just circling around the shit until like
Mm.
there's no more steps to make until I like cover every inch. You feel me? Um,
Mm.
and then I make sure the center topic is me, basically. Like I'm a
Gotcha.
black man in America. You know what I mean? Like so, who is that? Like that means I'm a Haitian American. You know what I mean? That means I gotta express my Haitian side. I gotta express my American side. You feel me?
Mm.
Like I think with me, it's just about covering all bases. And then the creativity is, my sister's a singer, so it's like I listen to her sing and I try to cover that burst of creativity. Like, she writes too, so it's like I learned that from her. Like, studying the culture, studying the artists, studying the people that came before you. It's just like I don't know. Nature's the master communicator. That's an awesome thought process. Like facts, bro. Like you follow nature, like especially a rose. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Efficiently going in one circle at a time, and then one circle at a time, and then we go to the same shit, just a new layer. You know what I'm saying? So like with that series right there, with the portraits, like I was doing those portraits every day, every day, every day. I was going home, I was busting out a painting. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
if I couldn't paint and I couldn't do a portrait, if I was standing on the train, I was writing some poetry. You know what I mean? To the point where I was just sharpening all my blades, like using every fucking nook and cranny of my time. Like wherever there was sunlight, I was catching it. Wherever there was water, I was soaking it up. Like I was trying to be,
Nice.
I was trying to put a flower in the tree. Efficiency, like somewhere there where the
Wow.
efficiency
That that's a
came
that
in.
that's the realest thing right there. Like having your memos all day reminding you of what you got to do. Because I feel it from your art. You have all these ideas, and like making sure that everything gets done, things get your thoughts come out. You need to make sure you jot it
I
down.
love that piece,
So say it again.
that piece back then, like that piece right there. It was called Field Niggas.
Mm.
So I put like all the different like basketball players and all the different runners, like all the different sports guys, and then I called it Field Niggas. But I lost that piece.
You
I lost
lost.
a couple pieces. I lost that. I don't have that Bart Simpson piece no more.
Mm.
The Basquiat piece changed quite a bit.
But the
Yeah, man, I be
beautiful the
looking
beautiful
for.
part about it is like you can always recreate it. To anyone watching,
Ah,
I
do you
know,
really want to know?
I know. It's a heavy feeling, but Who knows? Maybe one day you will, but make it a different way, you know. Anybody watching, if you have a question, please leave it on the comments. We appreciate your thumbs up and your comments. If you have any questions for Ka, let just write it here on the bottom. Now, in terms of your thinking, because the mind is a beautiful thing, right? It's it has
It's a
these.
complex thing, man.
Mm, so and I
Complex.
feel like through your work you share a lot of emotion, like because of all the bright colors, the way the pieces reflect your personality. And I really like some of the portraits. I just saw one that I was gonna bring up. Yeah, the Buddha here. Like this is something interesting to me. Can you tell us a little bit about? They just popped up. I don't know what it is. Just popped up. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Um, oh, that's my big Buddha. That's one of my oldest pieces. So the first two big pieces I ever did was a Buddha and a Jesus Christ. I sold the Jesus Christ, and then I gave the Buddha as a gift to this guy who let me stay in his gallery and like kind of just like live there for a couple years or whatever. Um, I miss my Buddha, man.
Hmm.
And already from the beginning, like it was that God complex. Like literally, the poem we read was about a God complex. Like so already, like my whole idea was like I was gonna make them all black. You know what I mean? I made Jesus black. I made Buddha black. I was supposed to like continue the series and just make all these different gods black, but I never got around to like finishing that. But I think it's still like motifs, like you know what I mean? Like
Nice. Wow. How long did it take to make that one?
I don't remember.
Wow.
Probably
That's a big piece.
anything I've ever done, any sketch I've ever done, like I probably knocked it out in a day, and I probably spent like months just like fine tuning it and trying to get it to where I want it to be. Like this piece I did of my dad, I literally did it the night before his funeral.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So like that's just to show you like how fast I can work.
Wow.
Or
No,
how fast I think
I
fast.
saw how fast you worked. Like, and something that caught my eye too was the way that we were at an event and you were literally. Oh, that's beautiful right there. Um, the way you sketch somebody just sitting and looking at them. You just sketch them like in a few minutes. You got a couple of markers, a couple of like those painting markers. You just went boom, 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 done. Like to do something like that, you need to be one confident, bold, and you need to just go at it right away. You can't think about it too much.
Colors,
How do you
man.
defeat that moment of like, oh, I'm gonna mess up because you use markers and pencil. How do you beat that?
Colors, man. You just follow the light. You be light, bro.
Follow the
Like do
light.
something. Just cop. No, like I was like I'll be drawing people right, and I'll just be like, you know, to be God is to be. God is a creator, right? To me, my understanding of God is like He's a creator of all things. He is everything in all things.
Hmm.
So if you're like, if you consider yourself a God, right? Or if you consider that you're a creation of God, and like they say, God, we're created in God's image. That means there's an aspect of everything in this universe inside of you that
Deep.
you just have to tap into. So to me, like my learning process is like color is like, all right, I'm gonna be light, or it's like I kind of learned it backwards. I learned it from like people say go from light to dark, go from light to dark, go from light to dark, or some people be like go from dark to light, go from dark to light. That's
Hmm.
life. You're like, you know what I mean? The sun comes up and then it goes down. And like every day it goes from light to dark, or you can see it in a different perspective and be like, yo, you know what I mean? Like nighttime comes first and then the day comes after. But
Mm.
like with light, if you think about light going through a prism, going through a spectrum, it goes from white, and it goes to yellow, and it gets a little bit darker, and it spreads, it goes to green, and it goes to blues, you get what I'm saying? Or it goes to oranges, and and then it's like chasing the fucking rainbow. Like
Mm.
if I take that rainbow and I see it as a God aesthetic, I see it as a God code, and I follow the code. So it's like I separate colors from just light to dark. The same way you're working on a pencil sketch, the same way, like, if you're doing sketches,
Hmm.
the easiest way to do the sketch is just to focus on the darkest points, to focus on the lightest points.
Right.
And instead of like having to sketch, instead of having to plan and everything like that, I try to like get a blur. So I'll literally like look at you like, all right, I'm trying to see the fuzz.
Mm-hmm.
and then I focus in at the end and
The
get all the
squinting,
details
when
at
they
the
say
end.
squint your eye.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't fuck up the fuzz. You get what I'm
Mm.
saying? You can't fuck up with these light colors because these dark colors come over them and they're prominent. So it's like I do the weak shit first. You know what I mean? I get the gist of you. I look at you. I get the fuzz. I get that, like, if I was looking at this man and I can, like, I had blurry glasses on. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
want to draw him and still recognize him, and then I'll come in and do the details, and I'll come in and do the stuff. And then after you do, like, after you've done, like, fucking, hold on. I'm gonna just give you, like, I think the second key is just practice makes perfect. So it's like you gotta really put in your hours, and like I put in my hours, bro.
Mm. You
Every
did.
page
You.
filled with like
Wow.
every page filled with portraits on portraits on portraits with pictures and just drawing and scribbling and sketching, and you know what I mean. Like that's the beginning. That's what it started as, like little characters. Like I wasn't always pushing out the work you see, and it grew. You know, like look at this stuff, man. I probably spent way more time on these little ones than I spend on a piece now. Like I used to do this stuff, and I used to spend hours on stuff like this. This was like my old style, and then I kind of let loose and it's like, fuck all this planning shit.
That's what's up, man.
You know what I mean?
Wow, super realistic too.
Yeah, and I don't really, you know, so it's like, and it goes back to that flower thing. There's stuff that I do that I take 5 minutes, that I take 10 minutes, and there's stuff that I do I'm spending hours on hours on hours on hours on end. So it's like, and then those things in between, you know, um, one blade sharpens another, man.
Right, right. What are
One
your
blade
so you
sharpens.
usually you would say that you study a lot from life, like you would look a lot of things in real life. You said you look at nature. When
Yeah, man, follow God, bro. Like, yo, like, God made you. That camera just took a copy of you, bro. Like, if you want to get the image right, follow God. Follow the, like, you know, study the real shit.
mm,
You get what I'm saying? If you want to do a landscape, go outside and find a fucking landscape. Study that real shit. Like, if you want to do a portrait, like, find a face and make that shit sit down in front of you and study the real shit. It's moving. It's more difficult. But you can catch lighting. You can catch more emotion.
yeah.
It's the image is not flattened or distorted. You know what I mean? It's and I say that with anything like music. If you want to be a musician, fucking get a bunch of farm animals and mimic and mock their voices, and then you'll find yourself like stretching your vocal cords to be able to fucking be high pitched like a bird, low like a fucking cow or some shit. Like you
Mm,
get what I'm saying? You put that shit together. Like God is the illest artist there is, bro.
mm,
Copy God, fuck everybody else. Like, you know, I feel like you're doing a disservice by I think understanding what other artists or like understanding what masters were. Like, so even in this piece, like to me, Dolly's dope because he's like the first person to express trippiness. Fucking, you know what I mean? He
right.
explains trips and he puts it in his art. Basquiat is like he's political. He's the first person to market his work in the streets. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, he's a fucking trap artist, bro.
Right,
This
right.
nigga was out in the street trapping his art, putting messages inside of it, and like decoding shit. He's a trash artist to me. Like, I don't think he was the greatest artist. Picasso was lit. He developed his own style. He wasn't afraid to like get away from the
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 realism. When
European whatever.
when everybody
You
was
know what
creating
I'm saying?
realistic stuff, he
Because he
created
was
right. Whenever.
yeah, he went weird. He got
Mm-hmm.
weird, and then he created something new, and it's different. You know what I mean? Frida. You know, I'm afraid of Fridas. You know, I date a lot of Fridas. Fridas are like the ones that they admire you for your art and shit like that, and then you shit on them, and then they shit it back on you by like taking your whole swag and
Mm.
and yeah,
I like the breakdown.
you
Keep
know,
going. Keep going. We need to hear. We need to keep hearing it. Keep going. You have like this is like an epic description. If this was a calendar or a book, this is the description I want to hear. Keep going.
Bob Marley is like just like, to me as an artist, like I think that's what the portraits represent to me. It's just like all colors. I'm trying to represent all walks of life. Like on some Michael Jackson shit. You know what I mean? Like I think like the greatest artists of all time, they weren't able to just like tackle their target market. They target the world. Like, you know what I mean? Their art was revered to by the world. So like that's what Bob represents to me. Van Gogh, Leonardo da Vinci, both masters, and that's why they're kind of like closer to God, if you understand. And then Kanye West, I love Kanye, man. People shit on Kanye, but he's a savant, bro. Like he's a low key savant. Like he doesn't just create his music. He produces. He makes. You know, he produces. He raps, and then he also like makes other fucking artists better.
Right. Right.
And
there's a thing, right? There's a thing about the rebels, right? The rebels are not liked at one point, but when they break through, they're like, oh shit, he was right the whole time. You know, and as a society, we tend to fear the rebels when they're starting up. But once they make it and they're established and they don't need anybody, we praise them. You know, and I feel like Kanye and there's a couple of other people that are in that same rubric. When the new artists like Basquiat step into the ground, people probably didn't like what he was doing, but then the mind, like you don't need many things to create, to show at the same thing that someone took 3 hours to make, someone made it in 2 minutes, you know, like that whole thing, but still sending the message and that energy that was put in these things like Basquiat pieces, your pieces. I mean, I don't know how long exactly you take, but I've seen paintings that take 20 hours, you know, and but the message and the colors is still the same. So, you know, if you find that, like it's like finding hacks in life to still send the same message. So, what's your thought on like the the is it the craft or is it the message that's important? Like, is it how it looks or is it like, am I getting my point across kind of thing?
the story.
The story.
It even portraiture, like doing portraiture and drawing people, like every picture came with a story. Like I had to introduce myself. I had to like get them to be willing to sit down, or I had to draw them and then tell them my story afterwards. I think I've learned to focus on the story, and like the beautiful thing about a story, you can journal every day and create a story. You know what I mean? Your intent, you don't have to know where the story is going. Journaling every day is literally telling your story in life. Like, you know, you're explaining how day 1 transitions to day 2 to day 3 to day 4 to day 5 to day 6. Sooner or later, like it's almost like plotting graphs. You know, in class you used to plot a graph and you'd be like, all right, I'm gonna put 1 point here, I'm gonna put 1 point here, 1 point here, and then you draw a line through all the points, and then you understand kind of where you're going in life.
Man, that's beautifully put. That's beautifully put. Is that something you practice? Do you journal every day?
I write stories like a motherfucker. And I think like the poem that you saw, you know, that's where I was coming from. It's just like I need to, you know, I'm trying to figure out my story. Like I'm low key, I'm working on a Bible.
Oh, I believe you shared it. You share some things with me.
I'm working on a Bible. You know what I mean? I think like to me it's like getting the gist of it. Like when I read the Bible and I try to understand what's the gist of the Bible, to me it's like the story of Jesus Christ, right? So in the story of God. So it's like it's God and his son, right? So it's like God, he creates some shit, he creates human beings, he makes a bunch of different motherfuckers, A and D love all the way. What's up? Hey, we out here. You know, God created a bunch of people. You hear the lineage, you hear the stories, and then it gets to Jesus Christ, and then Jesus Christ, you know, and then there's a bunch of motherfuckers telling Jesus Christ's story. You know what I mean? I think like I'm trying to tell my story, like who my God is, like who my father is, and who, you know, my mother is, and how they contributed to me, and who my sister is, and who my brother is, and how they contributed to me, and like who the culture was, who the artists were that contributed to making me, and what in the different pieces that I've like, you know, they're different pieces of the puzzle that's me at the end of the day.
Right,
You know what I mean?
and that's something very interesting because there's somebody told me recently. It doesn't matter what it is that I'm drawing. He's like, there's always something of you in that drawing, and I drew this Goku jumping, and my teacher
Mine
was
is my
like, "Huh?"
mine is my eyes. My eyes and
Mm.
everything.
And people can tell. That's the funny thing because of the energy and the what you put into it. People can tell that how you were feeling when you were doing that,
Taking
and they
love
can
from that.
say this person looks like you or that looks like you. You added yourself into this one. I did a Goku, and then a teacher of mine randomly said like he kind of looks like you. I don't know where or how, but we always tend to and
You add a lot of your shit too. You add your spirituality in the mix. I be seeing it. I be seeing the vibes, the light, the energy, the glow. You know what it is. Like
mm.
you know what
And
time
you
it
can
is.
tell like when you're in a good mood, when you're in a spiritual mood, when you're in a bad mood. It's and we think that we're creating something new, that we're creating like we're drawing something, but in reality we're like transmuting. We're transmitting our energy into a paper. It's like a picture can capture an image, but when you cook, when you draw, when you make something, there's way more coming into. So that's why I believe a picture will never tell a full picture. An animation may give you more emotions than a movie can, like a live action movie, because there's so many things that go into making one piece, right? One frame or a drawing. You know, you're putting all these details, you're paying attention to the lines, and I feel like even if we don't know how to draw, if we just tell a story that we want to, that whatever we're feeling, it's gonna translate into that drawing, to that piece.
It's like this one, right? I'm trying to finish this shit. This is a 50-50 split. So like half of the piece is mine, and the other half of the piece is my friend's.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And we literally like, I came together. I was like, yo, let's make a world together.
Wow.
Like we busted that shit out in probably like 2 days, and I've been sitting here trying to finish it for years.
Wow.
Like we got the majority of this shit done, and it's just like just trying to find the time and trying to focus on this shit, and like, but it's so many details. You know what I mean? There's so many little aspects that's piecing together, but it's a story nonetheless. I think that too. Like whenever I sit down and do a painting, like it's kind of like a eureka. I always have a eureka moment when I paint. Like I don't paint unless I have a moment like, yo, you know, it'd be a fucking dope idea if I could do this and this and this and this and this to express that and that. And I'm like, all right, go. And it's like I gotta have the money in the pocket, the canvas, the everything, what you call it, and that's how I let the universe decide that it's time to paint. Like besides that, I'm usually chasing money, to be honest. Like painting is not really how I make the bread. Like I make money doing portraits, I make the money hustling or doing design stuff, graphic, whatever. Like shit, that's no fun.
Right.
Like,
It sucks, right? Like I got that feeling when I get like clients, I'm like, yes, I get to pay something, but it's really like you're servicing. It is a beautiful thing, regardless, that you're giving your service to somebody, but it does take away from your time alone. And we like to be the creators. We like to be alone. And by the way, if you want to support Kahiem, what's your Instagram again? I'm sorry.
the King of Cause.
The King of Cause. If you want to support the King of Cause, follow him on Instagram, by the way. And also check out his website. He got a bunch of apparel here with the 90s theme.
And then I got stuff dropping soon.
The book bags.
My website.
Yeah, I'm in there. Like I just want to, you know, every time I do these things, I want like, you know, people to, you know, go and support the artists that like we claim we love people's work sometimes, but the one way to show support is by, you know, liking things, but it's also by buying like what things help you keep making your art. Say that again?
Get you a bag. I said you ain't never lied. Get you a bag, you know what I mean? That's my whole thing, like option apparel. Another thing, I think I do what I do because I just like to have options. I don't want to, you know. I don't believe in freedom, but I do believe in options.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? The only thing like servitude is a part of life. You gotta serve. You know what I mean? You gotta
Right.
do something in life in order to survive. You know, you're not gonna eat unless you hunt,
Right.
unless you do something. So so I believe in servitude. You know, I got
Hello?
other merch.
Oh, nice.
You got different and stuff.
And they can find that on your website. Your website is
K Archer Art.
K Archer Art. All right. Is there something you want to tell people about, like, art, or about yourself, about the world? How do we help heal the world? How do we help to heal the world? Like, I feel like you're a very powerful person.
Ah, how do we help heal the world? Why you ask me these? You really want my opinion?
Ah.
Burn it down. No,
How do we heal the world? Burn it down and let the ashes make the trees grow back.
Ashes, the ashes, dust, the dust. No,
Let the phoenix rise.
no,
Oh man.
karma. You deal with karma, bro. Like no lie, right? Like I be tripping. Like when I say I'm time traveling, like you know Dumbala?
Dambala?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but I can look it up real quick.
You know Dumbala? You know Ilegua?
Yeah.
Alright, you know Ilegua. You're Dominican, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Haitian. I know Ilegua too. You get what I'm saying? So it's like these laws, just the gods alone, right? That service. You gotta understand something. That's like, how can I explain this? Like Dominican Republic, right? Dominican Republic and Haiti got beef.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Systematic beef.
Systematic beef.
There you go.
That beef will trickle down. Those two nations represent the people. So therefore, when you put two people together, there's a slight chance that they might have beef. Even if they don't have beef, their spirits gonna have beef. You get what I'm saying? Until we settle the beef.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I think everything can be solved once you get down to the root of the issue. It's like taking two little kids that are fighting each other. You got to sit them down. You got to counsel them. You be like, all right, Tom, well, what did you do to Stacy? All right, Stacy, what did you do to Tom? You got to settle the beef. In this country, in this world, it's like we want to get over shit without settling and addressing the beef and dealing with the you know, like racism in America. Racism is a big fucking issue. You took my time, you took my energy, you took my ancestors, you took my land, and you took my labor, and you want me to get over that without giving me back my time, without giving me back my ancestors, without giving me back my land, without giving me back my... Come on, bro. We're not getting anywhere. It's going to be war. For generations after generations after generations, where spirits don't die, bro. They get reincarnated over and over and over and over and over and over and over, the karmic beef. That's why they make people fucking dumb. They make people dumb so they think we can forget about the fucking, like, you know what I mean, about the past. And that's why I don't like ignorance. That ignorant shit isn't bliss. That spiritually now you're gonna have.
Say that again. Ignorant stuff is not bliss.
That shit is not. It's not. Bliss is dumb as shit.
The best way to dumb people down is to tell them ignorance is bliss, right? So you don't have to worry about them. If you believe ignorance is bliss, you're one less people to worry about, huh?
Meaning, like, think about it. Like, they say the flesh, the spirit, you know what I mean? Like, you know, they say the spirit is eternal and the flesh, what, you get 80 years on that bitch? The spirit is eternal. So, am I going to live to satisfy my spirit, or am I going to live to, like, satisfy the flesh? I think that's why sometimes ignorance is bliss in this world, you know what I mean? But, like, if you enjoying your life now, then maybe spiritually, you know, everything is balanced, right?
Right.
I'd rather deal with the pain and the torment, racking my brain about shit, you know what I mean, counting my blessings, you know, living in spirit, living with my ancestors, living with that understanding. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to address the beef.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there's many ways, right, to solve an issue, right? Like you sit down, you talk about it, right? Um,
but you
one
gotta
thing, one
heal from it. Like, you can't. To
you
me,
gotta
it's
heal.
bigger than sitting down and talk about it. Like, I need my. We gotta go to court. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
We gotta go to court. We gotta settle the score, bro. Like,
So
if I got robbed,
my
I need my if
so
I
I
got
believe
damaged,
I believe in
I need my shit
unity,
fixed.
right? Like I believe in
You know?
unity, but I also believe in individual effort. You know, like if we're waiting for everybody to come together at one point, oh, I think that the live is about to finish soon. Um,
I lost you, bro.
Hello, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, good. The live will be finishing in like in about, let's say, 15 more minutes.
All right.
So let's have that in our back of our mind. But I was saying that I believe in unity, but I also believe in individual effort. You know, if we are waiting for everybody to come together to do something, I feel like we're gonna be waiting a long time. But like you're doing, like many of us are doing, right? We're adding a little piece to the puzzle, and I feel like each one of us, if we're all doing good, you know, if we're all doing okay, and I know it's easier said than done, it'll add more to the pie. You know, like what do you have to offer to serve or to heal or to teach? Because I believe in
Colors.
colors, right?
Yeah,
And I
color people
believe
color.
like whatever you know, if you can pay it forward. I see that you teach too, like you teach art, and those are ways, in my opinion, like if we teach people what we do, if we show face, that's very important to me. Like in high school, I didn't see a lot of black teachers. I did see some, but most of my teachers were white. Professions that I thought I could have, that I didn't know existed, or that I saw other people have, I didn't think of myself being in that position because there were, most of the representatives were white people, you know. So I didn't think of me being there. So I think it's very important for us to show face, to talk about what we do to the younger generation, because that way we can inspire others to, you know, become greater.
You're a genius, not just an artist. Don't limit yourself. You have dreams that can't be reached. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Get a degree, aim high, outgrow fear. Different shit that you can do. Like, you know what I mean? Um, but like, I do have one theory
Mm-hmm.
about like race. I think, to be honest, like, if everybody was part of a mafia and a cartel, stay relevant, big buy sound. What's up? What I got? Oh, yo, I love the thing. I love the art family. Art family, man, is everything, boy. Nah,
Mm.
but yeah, if every race or group was part of a cartel, right? I feel like you got Dominicans. Dominicans got their culture, they food, they what you call it. If they have all their resources, if they're self-sustainable, Haiti, self-sustainable. If you have all these different islands, all of these different nations, if you let Black America be self-sustainable, if you let White America be self-sustainable, if you let all of these things come to the mafia, like it's almost like colors. You know what I mean? If you just assign every group or race or what you call it, and I know people don't like labeling,
Mm-hmm.
but it's hard. You're never gonna have respect for another person unless you have respect and love for yourself.
Mm. That's
So I
deep.
think nations, if I'm poor and you're eating, we're gonna have a problem. So I think the goal is to get every group, to get every culture, to get every nation as independent and self-sustaining as possible, so we can learn how to like live in like I grew up in a you know, New York is one of the most diverse communities in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and I love the thing I love about like New York is you have the Rasta culture, you have the Rastafari culture, you got your Dominican neighborhoods, you got your Puerto Rican neighborhoods, you got your Haitian neighborhoods, you got your what you call it neighborhoods. We all live in the same neighborhood. We all got a block. We all got a what you call it. We all got our shit. But when we come together, it's respect because we see something in each other. You know what I mean? It's like you got your own, I got my own. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you got a Honda, I got a Toyota, I got a fucking Hummer, but I got something, you got something. So when we come together, there's no you know what I mean, clash. I think what's happening in with fucking capitalism, with fucking colonialism is they strip away your culture, they strip away the shit, and they try to make everything the same. And it's not right. I'd rather be a Haitian person and have somebody come into my culture and be like, well, this is my culture. You're gonna learn my culture if you fucks with me. Whites don't want that. Whites don't want that because they have a fucking problem. They're not light. They're white. You know what I'm saying? The only light shit I like is pure light and it's bright. They're not that. They're white. They're the opposite. You know what I mean? It's like black. I'm not black. I'm colored. I'm a mixture of all the different fucking energies in this universe. I'm not black. Black is the absence of everything, the same way the white is the absence of everything. Like black and white.
There's spectrum, spectrum, one end, and we can get into that. I feel like that's a deep topic to talk about.
Black and white is different from light and dark. How about that?
The absence of one, it makes the other, right? And I feel like that's a deep topic that I feel like I would love to talk about that in sometime in the future. By the way, to talk about just.
When I'm thinking about the colors, so it's like if we all had our own colors, if we learned how to blend, meaning I feel like you got Spanish people on one end, right? You got black people next to Spanish people, and you got white people next to Spanish people. The Spanish people are in the middle. They are literally the yellow between. You know what I mean? Or they're the orange between the yellow and the red. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I think if we understand that spectrum, black people and white people probably don't get along. But if they do, they can go Spanish. You get what I'm saying?
Right, but then that's the thing. I have like some theories about like the way things are worded and things like that. Like it plays tricks in your mind, when you.
We are part of a spectrum. There is a spectrum of people.
Mm-hmm.
People are not colors, but there are a spectrum of people. Meaning, white people wash down niggas. They wash down Africans and made them into all these different spectrums of people. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's like that's another thing. You got to go back to those. Like you have to really history is our key to our future. You know what I mean?
Right. The whole thing. There's so many things that is happening right now that I think we need to preserve history in order for us to not repeat it. We need to make sure those things are kept. Like I know the statues are being taken down and stuff like that, and great, but let's keep them in a museum so that we remember who these people are and things like that, so that we can know not to repeat the same mistake.
I think we need a Black history textbook. I want to know what Tainos was mixed with what Africans to make what Dominicans. I want to know the lineage of my people. I want to know how we went from one nation of Africa to what we are now.
Right.
I want to know every fucking detail, and I want to know every step, so that way, because that's the biggest piece of history that this world has. But we study white American history. We don't study. You know what I mean?
Right. We don't study the history. It's all curriculum based on how do we make laborers out of people, right? Instead of how do we free people?
Remember how white people came to power.
Right. And
the story of that's our history.
But let me ask you this, right? When you and this is the part that I like that we spoke a little bit about. The whole thing has been about the mind and creativity. But let me ask you this: and you said, we connect to God, we connect to nature. And I did this experiment the other day, and I just sat down in front of a tree and asked it a question, and I got a reply. Call me crazy, but like you said, nature talks, nature tells you things. So one advice that I can give from experience is to talk to nature. Like you said it, but really sit down and try to listen.
Psilocybin.
Say it again.
Like mushrooms. Psilocybin mushrooms. The beauty of mushrooms, and I don't think mushrooms does two things that I don't think a lot of people understand, because I don't think a lot of people are mental trippers. Mushroom psilocybin it's a first of all, it's nature. It's a spirit, one, right? So it's a spirit that's literally teaching you about life. So every tree has this chemical in it, and every tree is able to understand its environment because of this chemical. So when you take this drug, the one thing that it's doing doing is allowing you to tap into the earth and tap into the environment that you're in. That's why if you ever in a crib or if you, you might have a bad trip, because the shit is it's helping you understand the environment you're in different space and time. Not just this current. It's understanding your environment in the future, understanding your environment in the past, understanding your environment in complexity. It's cutting all the synapses in your brain. Meaning your brain might be firing here, might be firing in one place at a time. You take mushrooms, that shit's firing
all at once, huh?
All at one time.
That's funny because when I see your art,
every little piece of information that you have in your brain. That's why if you're a dummy and you take it, you're just like, oh, yeah, this is amazing. If you're smart, you're like, what the fuck?
Right. You paying attention. Your
eyes are like this. I get it. So it's like, so synapses, being able to access all the information and knowledge that you acquired.
Now let me ask you this.
All at the same time.
Do you
want to talk about the brain?
You believe you could do that with your brain alone?
You just need to open this. And you need to have something in this when you open it.
You need to have something what?
You just need to open this and you need to have something in it when you open it. Like, your third eye is your mind's eye. So it's like if you open up your mind's eye, you're literally now channeling the world and you're processing it. But if there's nothing, if you don't have the language or if you don't have the understanding to like decode, you know what I mean? If you haven't learned, like the memory, I don't think we forget anything. I think we're just, it might just be hard for some people to dig things out of their brain. But I feel like as long as you have that information and knowledge in your brain, once you like, once you find the light, you get what I'm saying? I think finding the light is literally just like, you see, there goes that mind eye. It's in everything. Like.
And that's, to me, that's the biggest secret of the world. It's not a secret anymore, although it's still treated like a secret, right? We all know the third eye. Say that?
The Holy Trinity. Your third eye, your heart chakra, and your root chakra. Try to light all those three up at the same time, and you're gonna be you're Christ.
See, Jules, that's exactly why this must have been like the thing that I like. We went through all that, like we spoke about all that to hear that. I feel like that's really what the whole gist.
Beware, because Christ consciousness means you're living in different fucking realms all at the same time. You're hearing and listen. Like I went through delusions and I went through trips and I went through like really bad things, and it's like I came out in the end understanding like, fuck, I was everything. I am one with everything. Therefore, if I'm cussing somebody out, I'm cussing myself out. It's like, imagine sitting there like hearing somebody like fucking with you. You're like, yo, fuck this nigga. No, fuck you, nigga. Don't have to fuck with me again, blah, 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 blah. And then the next day, you're hearing a voice in your head. Yo, fuck you, nigga. Don't have to fuck with me again. It's your voice being echoed and repeated right back down to you. You get what I'm saying? So that's what they say. Watch the energy that you put out there. You know what I mean? Because it literally comes back. It's a wave. It's a vibration. That shit goes to Saturn. It comes right back and smacks you in the face. Like.
Man. You don't know what you're doing, man. You don't know what you're doing.
It's all energy, man. We're just like boom boxes. It's throwing energy out into the universe, and that shit is coming back to us. And it's from past lives, generation to generation. My nigga Dre in the building, shaking.
Man.
My bad.
So we're about to finish. We got about 5 more minutes. So I want to thank you so much for before it cuts us off, and we're just left in the loop. I really want to say thank you to you, man, and I appreciate you taking your time today to share a little bit of yourself. Again, through this thing, we're sharing ourselves, and I feel like we need to keep doing more of that. We need to keep talking. We need to keep talking to one another. Again, to me, growing up in the Dominican Republic, Haitian wasn't something that I lived, right? But I lived in a Haitian neighborhood for like the past 6 years, right? And that was such a beautiful experience that I feel like I was deprived from. And most of my friends, my close friends right now, they're mostly Haitian. And I feel like I'm reconnecting with my loss, with the disconnection that I had. I feel like I'm kindling those.
Because we're family.
Exactly.
Bro.
and I'm catching up and making those bonds again.
Family that got married into two different families.
Exactly. And this is my way to say thank you, you know?
That's why we share the same lois, because at the end of the day, like, the lois they serve, you know, Africa at the end of the day. They serve, you know what I mean? They serve our people, our bloodline, and it all goes back to one.
Exactly. Now, my motto is never stop learning for you, right? And that's something that I live by every day. What is one thing that you're learning right now as we speak? What's one thing that you're learning to improve yourself?
I think selfishness. I think I lived, I'm embracing the dark side of life. Because I think I tried to live in the light. I tried to be a kid all my life. You know what I mean? I think I'm blessed enough to be an artist, to be able to express myself freely, to be But like, life has bills. Life is you know, like I was talking about pimp culture the other day, and I hate pimp culture. I hate people trying to fucking pimp me. You know what I mean? I hate the fact that there's people that are conscious and aware, and they take advantage of people that are ignorant and not aware. You know what I mean? But I'm slowly but surely starting to not embrace it, but I'm understanding that there are people that don't want to be aware, that want to be pimped. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I think I'm trying to embrace that dark side, because it's like, I think a lot of my issues could be solved if I just take advantage of certain opportunities that are kind of sus.
It's hard sometimes to embrace. We have here, I am grateful for, says very inspiring information, very informative. Balance includes the dark as well. So when we try to shun one side, that thing comes bite us in the ass, you know. And that's something that I'm dealing with too.
Like, well, you don't fuck with me?
Exactly, you know, and that's something, again, many of us, because our thoughts have been put in our head, oh, don't embrace the dark side, stay away from the dark side. But there's as much wisdom and knowledge from the dark side, as there is from the light side. Say it again.
You gotta giggle through the dark side.
Exactly. And you know, what's a prankster? You know, what's a prankster? It's somebody that tricks you. You know, we gotta embrace the trickster, and we gotta embrace the lover. You know, the trickster, sometimes we've been labeled the trickster as evil, but the trickster also teaches you a lesson, not to fall for the tricks. So once we embrace the trickster, once we embrace that side of ourselves, we'll be so much freer. Man, I really, really appreciate it. And we need to have another conversation like this, because I always feel like you, and this is barely the surface, because we had some conversations before that I was like, man, if people only knew. So again, I want to say thank you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate everyone that came through. Again, anyone that's watching, please don't forget to subscribe, like, go buy merchandise. We both have merchandise. I'm wearing a sweater of mine. Kahiem has his website, his link. Check out our link. Whoever is still watching, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, like the video. I always forget to promote that. But again, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much, man. Any final words you want to say before this thing shout us out?
He's saying the image is like, how do you not get consumed by the dark side, man? Like, you always got a little light in you, man. Just call for it. That's what Christ is, right? You know what I mean? As long as you're good, as long as you feel like you deserve redemption, which we all do, because nobody's perfect, man. Don't try to be that nigga either, man. Don't try to be perfect.
Yeah, that's the hardest. That when you try to walk so straight, that's when you fall the hardest, you know. The reason why we're here.
Quick when you walk too straight, man. This shit is wavy for a reason.
So we got 28 seconds, 25 seconds. Kahiem. Again, I want to say thank you so much for joining. We're gonna close it out with what I always say, you know, never stop learning for you, because when you learn, you can teach others. This has been Artclstudios. Kahiem has been our guest of honor today. Peace out. Peace. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. I feel like I had a lot of fun. So if you feel like this was fun, go ahead and share it with anybody that you know. I never look at the camera straight because I'm always looking at the buttons. So, yeah, don't mind my eyes. I'm always looking at things, but I'm talking to you. You right there who made it to the end of this video or who fast forward to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking your time. Peace. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on social media. And if you like the video, click the like button. If you want to see more videos, click the video in the middle. And don't forget, never stop learning for you.